Michael Leiter is the former director of the National Counterterrorism Center, serving both Presidents Obama and Bush. Michael, good morning to you. Lots to chew over here.
Good morning, Savannah. How are you?
So we have Tillerson over in Moscow trying to pressure Putin to abandon Assad. Tough words aside, what would actually work? What would change Russia's calculus?
Well, I think we have to accept that our hand is pretty weak right now. In fact, I think Putin is feeling quite strong. He has helped Assad turn the tide against the opposition. He has reestablished his port in the Mediterranean. And although certainly the use of chemical weapons makes him more uncomfortable, the fact is he views himself as winning. They have a strong military presence there. And I think the confused messages coming out of the White House make him even more confident that the U.S. isn't really willing to escalate this much farther than we already have.
And on the subject of this chemical attack, Michael, first of all, Putin says, show me proof. I don't believe sarin gas was used. The U.S. intelligence community comes up with that proof, and then Putin blames that on the same, I guess, organization that's come up with failed intelligence in the past. Isn't the problem here that if Putin admits chemical weapons were used, Russia has to take part of the blame?
Well, he does, but I'm not sure, in truth, he cares that much. He is really one who believes in hard power, and the messaging is much less important to him. But he is masterful at needling the U.S. and using disinformation to try to split these coalitions. So using this history of Iraq WMD, even if it has no real close analogy to here, is great for him. And if you remember, it's exactly what Russia did as well with the shoot down of the Malaysian airliner over the Ukraine, where Russia had clear responsibility, but tries to sow doubt to try to reduce the level of commitment from the West to really confront him. And the lack of a really cohesive set of new sanctions out of the G7 yesterday suggests that to some extent he's sown enough doubt to make it through another day.
And back to this issue of leverage. I mean, we have the president giving an interview just yesterday where he says, are we going to get involved in Syria? No. How do you read that if you're Putin?
Well, if you're Putin, you basically see the U.S. taking an easy strike where there is relatively low risk to us with the Tomahawk missiles, but not really being willing to commit fully. And Putin is taking advantage of that in a number of places. He took advantage of it in Crimea, in the eastern Ukraine, moving troops towards Libya and Egypt. In all of these situations, Putin is willing to be very, very forceful. And the question is whether the United States, Europe, and NATO can be a solid bloc to try to deter him in Syria and beyond. And that's yet to be proven.
All right, important meetings right now. Michael Leiter, thank you very much.
Hello, Today fans. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking that button down there and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives.